Hello, everyone. Good morning to you. Been a minute we did a live section, so just trying to get a few things in order. So I want to use this moment to appreciate everyone that's been subscribed for a period of time and has been supporting me, has been liking the video, making comments and stuff. I want to say I see all of those things and I do appreciate every one of them. So there is going to be a few things that I want to do on this video, but I will try as much as possible to also not make it too long. I just want to what's that? Just a second, please. Alright, cool. We are back. We are here now. So I hope everyone is doing great. I hope you all are well. So there are a few things I want to talk about. Number one is to have the understanding that we don't really know what is going to happen in the market, regardless of how very solid our strategy is, how confident we are in our trading plan, how very sure we know that market is going to go in our direction, right? So I'm currently in this trade and I'm seeing how it goes for now. This is DXY and DXY has been in a downtrend for a very long time. So what does it mean if DXY is in a downtrend? Gbpusd will be going up. Pretty much that's just it, but I don't just trade based off of that, right? I have to see a lot of other things on the pair that I focus on. So what it just simply means is that dollar has been quite weak, majorly since when Trump came in, and also because of the tariff war. As you can see, from January we had a top out, and then since then it has been dropping. I was able to get some opportunities during this downtrend on the dollar, which was me buying on pound. But what are we looking at right now this morning, right? I'm just pretty much buying on the previous resistance with anticipation that is going to turn into a support. So I've seen initial market reaction here on the 4-hour time frame, which was a very very long week, which indicated that okay, there is possibility of buyers coming in back into the market around this area. So upon seeing this overrun turnaround now, I've gotten into a buy and my stop loss is currently below this 4-hour candle. So let's see how it goes. The trade is just barely in a 1-to-1 profit, and currently now it has also retraced. So initially went to about 1-to-1 in profit and then retraced. So for now, fingers crossed. What is much more important, right? Because in the process of trading, you know your strategy, you know your trading plan and all of those good stuff. But what the most difficult part is actually waiting for the setup, right? You wait for the setup to form, then you take actions, then you also wait for the setup to play out. Now in all of those waiting process, right, is always very very difficult because our brain, our mind always wants to quickly like have this dopamine rush of celebrate, I got a win or stuff, and I take profit out, I see small profit is going against me, blah blah blah. So what do I do in all of this process? Recently I've learned to step away from the chart. What I do is when market is going continuously in my direction, I have rules that I try as much as possible to follow, because I know that my mind can be very feeble. I'm human, I have made mistakes and I will still make mistakes, right? So what is best for me is to just keep learning from all of my mistakes. Keep learning from those failed times of the things that I did wrong, right? So that is what I've been making sure that I'm doing, that I'm learning from my mistakes, and I'm growing out of those behaviors gradually. A lot of times it's not something that, sorry, just a second please. There are many times that we have with our emotions, we've messed up a lot of our good traits, right? There are many times that because we can't control what we currently see on the chart, we've messed up like very very good traits, and this has happened to me several times, not once, not twice, several times, where because of my emotions I've messed up like very very good traits. I've destroyed my chances of like passing accounts, destroyed my chances of getting payouts and all of those things. But in the process, right, I make sure that I'm learning from all of these mistakes. I make sure that i'm not I'm not repeating them over and over again, because what will be shameful, right, is when I keep repeating these mistakes over and over again. So on currently one of my FTMO accounts that the trade is currently playing out on, so initially I was in drawdown of about 3.2%. so currently now the account is still pretty much in drawdown, but hopefully let's see how this trade goes. So as I was saying, right, there are, and you can see I'm currently my lot size is reduced. So when I get, one of my rules is that when I get into drawdown of 3%, I reduce my risk to 0.5 so that I can build back up cushion. Once I build back up pushing above 3%, I go in back with 1% risk. And then another thing is, regardless of that, I still scale into my position. So as you can see, there is already a buy stop limit where if market keeps going in my direction at this point, it takes me in for another trade and move this stop loss of my initial trade, move the stop loss to break even. So that's how I try as much as possible to keep following my rules, because I don't want to always stare at the chart and let my emotions mess up good trades. This has been something that has happened to me several times, but now I have learned really well to be able to hold on to my trades. Last week I got a very very good trade from here, and then I held it to this point. My stop loss was very close to getting stopped out this time around, but luckily for me I was able to get a very very good win on it. For then I scaled in actually, so I scaled in a second position somewhere here, and then my stop loss got moved here. So altogether I was able to make about a 1 to 7 on this trade, which at the end of the day I later messed up, which gave me like my biggest loss in trading so far that I've been trading for 2 years plus. My biggest loss in trading was here. I lost crazy. So let me see if I can share with you my FTMO. Okay, just a second. No, I'm not gonna share it, not today. Anyways, so I'm going to try as much as possible to actually make this video, this live session, a very quick one. If you want to know about my system, the thing with system sharing, right, is I don't want to confuse people, because there is tons of information out there when it comes to trading that those information are misleading a lot of people. Those information has now become very overwhelming, and I don't want to be part of the people that would be adding to this sort of like information madness, right? I don't want to be part of the people that will be bombarding people with technicals all over again. I would rather talk about the less spoken about part, which is also the most important as far as I'm concerned, is the trading psychology, right? Because if your mind is messed up, if your head is messed up, if you don't know how to control yourself, if you don't know how to follow your trading plan that you've created for yourself. One thing with trading is that we are sort of like free, quote unquote, right? We are free in terms of like you're not reporting to a boss, nobody's telling you to do this, do that. But the reality of it is a paradox in terms of like you must create rules for yourself. If not, you are going to crumble, you are going to crash, you are going to burn. You have to create rules for yourself, and you have to teach yourself to follow those rules. You have to teach yourself to adhere to every of those rules. That any day you mess up, any day you don't follow those rules, there has to be a punishment for it, right? So on Monday I messed up my account. On Tuesday it followed, but I stopped trading on Tuesday morning. Yesterday I didn't take any trade at all. I didn't take any trade. Today I'm trading on another account. I left the other account that I messed up. I left it totally. I trade on a new account freshly, and I'm just trading on just one account out of 8 other accounts that I have. The reason is because I want to get myself in the right state of mind. I want to make sure that I brought myself back to equilibrium. Another way that I do this is that I try as much as possible to talk about that thing, because a lot of people they want to hide their shame. They think it's shameful that you mess up an account and you do stuff and all of those things. Yes, it's shameful, but you don't want to wallow too much in the pain. You don't want to wallow too much in the shame. You want to try as much as possible to bring yourself back up to equilibrium with the market as soon as possible, right? As soon as possible might take you longer time than it is going to take me. So because we are also we are different in a way. There are things that we've taught ourselves how we could control ourselves differently in different type of ways. All right. So pretty much this live section is just going to be me yapping, and just to show you that I'm back on YouTube now. I'm back on Instagram as well, and I'm looking to keep building, keep seeing if there is a possibility of meeting more people, maybe from my subscribers and stuff, because yes, I do know and I understand that there are a lot of people that are trying to trade and are going through different dramas with it, right? And depending on how long you're willing to sacrifice and how patient you are with yourself, the dramas will start dying off gradually, and there has to be a point. The thing that I realized with my loss that happened on Monday was that for me to actually grow, for me to become all of these people that I look up to, that I admire and stuff, I have to somehow go through what they went through in my own way. I used to have this belief that there is a way you can do trading without getting too much losses, like getting too much pain, right? And I read my way through. I read a lot of books, psychology books, so many, and I still read. But what that made me, or what disadvantage it gave me, was that earlier on in my journey, I begin to hesitate a lot. I begin to want to not take actions, right? I see my setup, I think of so many things, I try to find. So later on, I discovered that one of the things that is holding me back is the fact that I know too much. then I decided to just start cutting off a lot of knowledge, which it was painful. Some of those knowledge I paid for them, paid for mentorships and all of those things. At the end of the day, I'm now at a stage where I have accepted my reality, that for me to get to the level that I want to get to in trading, I have to take a beating. What it means by taking a beating is that things has to actually get darker before the light shines. Why? Is because the losses, the mistakes, they are the things that are going to teach you. They will teach, because no matter how your mentor or a friend or whatever share their experience of a loss that sort of like changed their approach, or that sort of like tweaked their mind, and they got disgusted with those things, or they got tired of making all of those mistakes and stuff, you have to experience it in your own dimension. It might not be as big as theirs, or it might be bigger than theirs, but you have to experience it in one way or the other, that you then have to teach yourself that, oh, this stupid mistake that I did, this behavior, this demonic, this evil behavior that I did, I must never make it again. How do I not make it again? Is to learn from the things I did, right? Learn from the mistake, learn from the behavior, replay that moment. That is the way you are then able to learn. Now, there was a time I couldn't even hold my trade for like 1 hour. Like, bro, I cut my losses. Like, trade is going against me. It has not even got into half of the loss. I cut it. Say, oh no, I don't want to take a loss. It's going into profit. Small. Like, I don't want the profit to disappear. I take it. And all of those things, I learned from them lessons, to then discover that, oh, I'm the one that is actually self-sabotaging myself. I'm the one that is making my journey slower. And through the pain, through the experiences as well, I grew out of that level. And then I started holding my trade for a few more hours. Started holding my trade for a few more days. Then teaching myself that, okay, I can actually hold some trades over the weekend. I can leave some. I can scale into my position. I can scale out of my position. Like, I can move my stop loss to break even, and then market will come back to stop me out, and it will not pay me. I will not go crazy. So, like, these many things, they are very, very important for every one of us to learn in the journey. And learning in the journey has to be from our own experience. Even though you have the right mentor that shared everything important with you, you have the best mentor in the world, blah blah blah, all of those things, your experience will still teach you stronger. The only good thing that having a good mentor will give to you is that you will be able to see from someone else's mistakes the likelihood of what will happen to you if you don't treat trading as a business, if you don't function on the level where you are meant to function properly, where you are meant to treat things the right way with trading. So you see the way this market is just doing like something I don't understand right now. You see, all of a sudden this is just, I feel like this market is just extremely slow, and I don't really know why as well. I just believe it wants to do what it wants to do, and for me, I don't care to know why it's slow or why it's fast. It's not really my job. It's not my business. It's not something I have to know. What is important for me is, have I managed the risk right? Have I accepted the risk that I'm putting on, right? If I have fully accepted the risk I'm putting on, then there is nothing to bother me about one tick that is just moving out of. Look at what I'm looking at in terms of like the hourly chart or the 4-hour chart, right? There is nothing to worry myself about. If it wants to come down to eventually be a loss, that is totally fine, right? And if it goes well to be a win, that is totally fine as well. There is nothing to be too happy or too sad about, right? So all of this is now is how am I gonna put it now? Reconstructing my mind, reconstructing my the way I see the chart, reconstructing my interpretation of market information, because the market is neither giving you emotional pain or emotional joy. No, the market is just being the market. It is your own interpretation, like what you interpret from the market based on what you know, right, is what is going to give you the emotional drama or the emotional peace. So I would like to call it a day on this live section. So to just quickly show you what is currently going on again, you will see on my FTMO C trader, you will see that nothing too crazy right now. Is almost going nowhere yet, but let's see how it plays out, right? I try as much as possible to have a long-term view to whatever it is I'm doing. I don't try to get emotional with what I'm currently looking at, because I've taught myself to look at the bigger picture, right? Looking at the bigger picture, if the market will agree with me in terms of like the direction I'm looking at, how long is it going to take? Is it just in 1 second that my market is going to move from year to year? It's possible, right? But with the way the current market condition is, are there criteria that we allow that right now? No, until there are other variables that we can't see. Other variables then will be news, or Trump saying something, or the Bank of England doing something, all of those things, right? But as of now, I just stay focused and keep observing. Okay, my structure level is holding pretty well. It looks like market volatility is coming in gradually. Okay, am I following my plan? Have I accepted the risk that I put on? Once all of those are in place, then I'm at peace. All I just do now is, once I'm done with this live session, I shut down my PC and I move on with my life. I go do something else with my day. Maybe go play a game, go read a book, right? So that I can keep developing myself. There will always be more opportunities for me to take in the market. It is how prepared, how solid I have made myself that will then make me be ready and be prepared to take all of the opportunities that the market is going to give me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for joining. I appreciate every one of you. Take care. Bye bye.